Hello, welcome to Monday. Monday morning, back to the grind. However, this Monday we have both brothers. Austin's working for one of our drivers. He needed to take a personal day instead of taking an actual PTO day. They just switched days off, which works out well for all parties. I feel like a little latte, and I pulled off the freeway a mile early to go to Starbucks, and they're closed. They look like they're remodeling or something. The parking lot's fenced off, and there's a bunch of storage containers out in the parking lot. So, because I was on the app, and I'm like, I swear there's a Starbucks on Thomas. Why is it not showing up? What's going on? Sure enough, I pull up, I get off the freeway, and I look, and I'm like, oh, they're closed. Smart that they can take it off the app. That's really, really smart for Starbucks to do that. They know a location's closed for whatever reason. To update the app like that is very, very appreciative. I guess I just wasn't expecting it. So it is Monday, and we're doing another round of DoorDash tonight. I think even though there's no Monday Night Football, I am going to attempt to do just the pizza deliveries, or go back to that area where it's just there's only a couple of spots, a couple of places that food gets delivered, or DoorDash serves. So I think I'm going to give it a try. I feel like Monday's probably still a better day for pizza than Wednesday. People were out all weekend. Whatever. I feel like takeout / pizza might be a safe bet on a Monday. So we're gonna go with that. Well, we got through Monday. It's 3:45. I'm just now getting started with my DoorDash, and I'm in the area that I was like, yeah, pizza, and I've been sitting here for 10 minutes, not one order. And so immediately I'm like, nope, this doesn't feel right. I think the pizza gig only really, well, first of all, it's 3:45. It's not even dinner time, right? It's early. I don't think people typically order pizza this early in the day, right? Chick-fil-A, Taco Bell, burgers, yeah, no problem. But I don't know. I'm thinking I should pause and drive back to my usual area, because usually by now I would have already had at least one order, if not, the consecutive back-to-back that I typically get. So sitting here in a parking lot is not making me any money. So I'm thinking I'm making that call. I think we're gonna go. Let's go. Look at that. Arrive to the area and pick up an order immediately. Red Robin, yum. Just like that, we're rocking and rolling. Order after order after order. There's not enough options by the pizza shop, so we'll reserve pizza for Friday nights or big game nights, maybe Super Bowl. Ooh, DoorDash on Super Bowl Sunday. That'd probably be a bang. They probably have a promo. There's probably gonna be promos going on. Do I really want to do that though? No. Oh, PT noodles, man. I love Vietnamese. Ugh! I should have eaten before DoorDashing. I made that mistake. I had a lunch. I did eat a good lunch, but it was really healthy, and I burned through it already. I'm already starting to get the I need to eat something, and so we'll play by ear. If we get to a place where I can pull off to a gas station, maybe grab a bag of jerky or something, a protein bar, try to get me through the next few hours. I need to eat. Great apartment complex. All the signs are labeled higher than the Ramadas, so you can see them. And there are just cool little courtyards in the center. Tiff delivers to these all the time, and these are the coolest little apartments. We're back at Total Wine, and this time I brought my ID. For those that don't know, missed that vlog, I did DoorDash here at Total Wine, and didn't have my ID on me because my ID is on my phone, right? Arizona is one of the states that does the true ID on your phone. Well, apparently Total Wine doesn't take that ID. You have to have your physical ID, even though everything is literally the same on the phone. Later on, I learned that technically in order to use that on your phone, they have to have the reader. So once they get the reader, then they can use it. Otherwise, it doesn't matter what it says. Once they card you, they have to have the ID. So I brought my ID. All right, we're grabbing cranberry juice. I'll be honest, tonight has not been great so far. I've declined 4 or 5 orders, I've dropped below 70% acceptance rate, which sucks because that's just the next 70% is the tier to get the highest priority. So I'm just dropped below that, and I'm like, and I like, again, I won't accept anything that's upside down. I just did a no tip, which, that's stupid too. I shouldn't accept those either. But I'm like, $2, 2 miles. I'm like, all right, that's literally the minimum. I gave in. I stopped, paused my dash, and went to Arby's because he's in the parking lot where I just delivered to. And I just had a double beef and cheddar, and it was amazing. It was amazing. And you know what? I needed the calories, the protein, the fat, the carbs, all of it. I needed the macros. So that's why I went with a double the meat, right? Double on the protein. Pretty lean, not really fatty, but yeah. So got food in my belly. I'm good to go. Let's get back to the dashing. Beautiful, beautiful. Love a good sunset. Checking in. How you doing? How was your day? How was your morning? Any plans this afternoon, this evening? It's a good time to leave a comment down below. Well, that was a terrible evening of DoorDashing. Probably one of my worst ones in a long time. I remember at one point I tanked my acceptance rate to the point where I was just getting nothing but crap orders back to back to back, and I wasn't getting anything good. They were all crap orders, and I had to slog through it for 2 nights to get my acceptance rate back up to at least 50%, but eventually got it to 70%, and I've held it above 70% for quite a while. Tonight I just got a group of really bad orders, and I declined them all, and it just tanked my acceptance rate below 70%. And I felt it. Like, it's so weird how that they fine-tuned it where it's like you have to be a top dasher to really get those top orders. And it's like I got a slew of bad ones, enough to take me below 70%, and then it was just like bad the rest of the night. And I was like, oh crap, here we go again. Maybe it was just a coincidence, but there were a lot of no tippers, and there were a lot of lopsided upside down orders where instead of getting, shooting for that $2 a mile, I was getting like 50 cents a mile, less than $1, which is just really, really bad. And so, yeah, just 4.5 hours, and I think I made $55. Just terrible night. But definitely started losing steam a little after 7 o'clock. I could feel myself just kind of, plus I was listening to podcasts tonight, right? I started off with a comedy podcast, had some laughs. It was great. Then I went into like an entrepreneur, businessy type podcast. And then the last one I started listening to towards the end of the night was a YouTube strategy type of podcast. And I listen to a wide variety of podcasts because I'm into a lot of different things. And I kind of like to hear, news and, pop culture. Some things are just comedy interviews with, celebrities or stand-up comics. And then of course I have my entrepreneur businessy stuff, and I have my YouTube stuff. The YouTube stuff's nice because while I watch YouTube videos and I get some of that content on YouTube, it's good to listen to it as well in an audio form from various people. But anyway, something that was said this morning, I was shopping at Costco, and I was listening to a podcast, and they started talking about, again, the authenticity and the longer form, slower videos like this. And there was a moment they said something where I literally stopped in the middle of the aisle, and I just kind of like listened to exactly what they said. In fact, I rewound it, listened to it again. I pulled my phone out and I recorded a video for me for tomorrow, something to remember. In fact, I even like put my hand up like this and was like, to remind me that this clip is for me, not for the vlog. This is just a reminder to either take that clip and do something with it, or write myself a note or something like that. But I did it in the video form. Part of the conversation I was having in yesterday's vlog was about journaling, right? And how I started journaling back at my birthday, and I tried to make a habit out of it, and I couldn't really stick to it long enough to form a habit. But I appreciate the art of journaling. I appreciate getting thoughts out and putting it on the paper, and I appreciate the actual ink to paper. Even though my handwriting is atrocious, and after a while I feel, it gets annoying sitting there writing. I appreciate the methodology behind it. With that being said, I have the journaling app on my iPhone, iOS. I've got the notes. I've got Notion. I've got tons of note-taking apps and ways to take notes. There's also voice memos, and of course, there's video. And at the end of the day, it comes down to whatever platform or utility I plan on using. It just has to be consistent, and it needs to be in a location that I go back to. Because that's the thing too. Like, this book sits here on my desk, and while I haven't read anything that I've written in it at this point in time, I know that I can just grab this book and I can flip through the pages and read my journal entries. And this was kind of an experiment to see if I could actually do it for more than just 1 or 2 days, and B, fill it up in, it's 48 pages, so essentially a month and a half. But fill the pages up and then at some point go back and read what I wrote and see if there's any kind of impact that I have. Things that I was feeling in November and December, and did any of those conflicts get resolved, or do I feel any different about these things? That sort of thing. But if I look at it a different way, if I look at it as like, I write down my thoughts in here, but then the next day go back to those thoughts and continually build off of those thoughts and ideas, and I don't know. I mean, again, there's no structure, so to speak, behind what I've been doing or what I've been thinking, or even in journaling in general. But that's where I was going with that conversation yesterday in yesterday's vlog. And multiple people did leave a comment. I think one of them was in the vlog, and the other one was in the extras video for the Tier 3 channel members, which, by the way, shout out to Buffalo Bill for becoming the newest Tier 3 Gotta Have It channel member. Thank you very much. That's the 4th one in 24 hours. I really appreciate it. I did not expect anybody to go to that $10 membership level, but we've got 4 of you guys now. So thank you very much to you guys. I really appreciate the extra support, and I hope you enjoyed the extra videos and footage that you're getting now at that level. But 2 comments that were made, they were saying basically the vlogs have become my journal. And while I agree with that, I am embracing more of that thought of this, where I'm just hitting record and kind of just, ranting, venting, not worrying about cutting it. And I'll edit it tomorrow, tighten it up a little bit. But you guys, again, I've said this before, you guys have given me, the agency, and I'll even say it, the permission to make videos like this. And like I said, I've said this now for a couple of months, and now there's just a slew of videos and YouTube gurus and YouTubers that are all saying the same thing, that authenticity and storytelling and the old school vlogs, the vlog style, is making a comeback on YouTube. Embracing the Clintus 2.0 mantra that I kind of laid down, where it's like, I'm going to do what I want and I don't care about the views and blah, blah, blah. And hearing you specifically say that you like this, enjoy this, don't care what I put up. The last thing that I will say that I heard in the podcast was simply, and I want to make a separate video for this too. I have a video idea. That's what the video I shot for myself was about, was this video idea that I want to put in. But basically talking about you, specifically, you watching this video right now, you who comes back to my channel every day, every other day, a couple times a week, once a week, whenever it is that you come back to this channel, because you know that there's going to be another video. Whether it's every day or most days, there's going to be a new video. The next time you come to Clintus.tv, there's going to be something you haven't seen yet. And even if you just are now stumbling across my channel, there's over 3,000 videos waiting for you to catch up on. And so all of these things, I've been thinking about all day. And I don't know, it's just, even though I'm not completely happy with my life right now, and I'm not completely happy in general, I will admit the one thing that I'm the most happy about right now is YouTube, is you, the viewer, the community member, the Clintus clan. I'm completely fallen back in love with YouTube and the rebuild. Just a lot to think about. I've had a lot to think about, and this isn't by no means something sad or dramatic. It's just every day now I think about YouTube, and I'm looking at it through a different lens, so to speak. One last thing I'll share with you about a podcast I heard tonight was someone mentioned how us Americans love a good 1, 2, 3, story arc, right? It's the build up, it's the tear down, and it's the comeback, right? If you think about some of the greatest movies in our history, it's that the build up, something happens where the person falls down, and then it's the comeback, it's the rebuild. And I almost feel like I'm in that rebuild, comeback story where I'm taking this broken channel that I have and putting the pieces back together, but not exactly back where they can't go back to where they were. I'm kind of making this new thing with the pieces, and you're a part of that. So I appreciate you. Thank you. On that note, it's 9 p.m. I need to start getting ready for bed. There's a lot of other things I need to take care of tonight before I go to bed, but I really need to actually go to bed early tonight because I've been going to bed late the last couple nights. Tomorrow's work from home day, so we'll be here hanging out in the morning, but at some point I will be leaving the house, either to head into the warehouse just to take care of some paperwork, or at the very least, make a couple customer visits, but we'll see. So come back tomorrow and let's hang out.